This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I've seen some propaganda pieces in my time. As I point out on this channel, the commercials that are filled with propaganda, the things we see on the news that are just propaganda. That's all it is a big pile of propaganda. But I don't know if I've seen something this over the top, this ridiculous, and this blatantly obvious in a long, long time. Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I say that a lot because it gets worse every single day. But last night, I happened to see a commercial for this new movie called Birth of a Nation. Now, the plot of the film is about I'll read you the plot according to what happens when you Google the film. Nat Turner is an enslaved Baptist preacher who lives on a Virginia plantation owned by Samuel Turner. With rumors of insurrection in the air, a cleric convinces Samuel that Nate should sermonize to other slaves, thereby quelling any notions of an uprising. As Nate witnesses the horrific treatment of his fellow man, he realizes he can no longer just stand by and preach. Turner's quest for justice and freedom leads to a violent and historic rebellion. So pretty much it's a story about slaves who are fighting against, it's whites versus blacks. That's the plot of the story. And don't think for one second the name of the film is a coincidence either, Birth of a Nation, because what is this about for the New World Order? It is about the rebirth. I talk about it's a common theme, the transformation and the rebirth for the New World Order, the accepting of the Antichrist. That is what the rebirth is about. They're talking about the birth of a nation. And what they're implying is that out of this chaos, this race war that they've created, this nation will be reborn. This is about the rebirth of a nation, because this chaos that they're creating with this race war is going to lead to order, a new world order. And it's going to be the birth of their new nation under the Antichrist. That's what this is about. That's what the title of it's about. That is what this race war is about. What a coincidence this is coming out right now in the midst of this race war that's going on that is funded and paid for by the New World Order, by the elites, by George Soros and company, all strategically planned, not a grassroots movement. What a coincidence that this film just happens to be coming out Friday, October 7th. This is the first I had seen of it. I hadn't heard of the film. I didn't see any trailers for the film. So today I spent a lot of time researching the film and looking into the backstory of it. And all I see all over the place are articles, what a surprise, about how it's a wonderful film, how it's just what we need. But wait, there's more. This commercial that aired last night, I'm not even kidding. It isn't on YouTube yet, but it will be soon. And when it is, I'll post it. This trailer showed clips from the actual, 30-second TV spot spliced in. So when the guy talks about, a war is coming or he's fighting against a white guy versus a black guy, they cut to shots of the Black Lives Matters movement. I kid you not. They cut to stuff that's going on today. They show police riots today that are going on. And the guy is inciting war, a race war in the trailer saying, we're going to fight back. We need to fight against them. And they show the whites running against the blacks. And, that's how the trailer ends. Like they're running in the streets like it's Batman or something, where there's war going on, and they show the Black Lives Matters movement with it. So that while this is the basic core of mind control. This is how it works, right? They show this trailer that's supposed to pump up black people saying, we're going to fight back. We don't want to be slaves anymore. And then, they show them in, 1915 or whatever time period. 1831, when this is supposed to take place. Then they cut to today. People walking the streets holding Black Lives Matters movement signs, protesting out in the streets, violence in the streets today. That's what they do. That's how mind control works. That's how propaganda works. Yet still, somehow, people out there aren't going to see the trailer and go, wait a minute, why are they showing this movie trailer and then they're incorporating what's going on in today's world? They're not trying to rile people up. They're not trying to use mind control. That's all that it is mind control. And what a coincidence that it's coming out right now in the heat of this race war, and it's getting all this mainstream press. And of course, if you look up the movie, all you hear about, an amazing work of art. I guarantee you this film is nominated for an Oscar. I'll guarantee you it does. So it stays in the mainstream for months and months and months from now until, whatever the Oscars are, March or April or May, in that time period. Oh, it's a critically acclaimed film. Oh, it's such a strong message. Oh, this, oh, that, as they push the race war, and the masses continue to buy into this nonsense as they pit us against one another, as they continue to cause racial divide so they can get order out of chaos, because that is the goal of this, to divide and conquer. They are dividing us all with propaganda, and it's so blatantly obvious at this point. that you would think people would start waking up to what's going on. I mean, literally in the commercial, showing you the Black Lives Matters movement with the trailer of the film, incorporating what is a fictional film with what's actually going on in the world, even though both of these things are works of fiction, because both are just, the movie itself is a Hollywood production. Well, so is the Black Lives Matters movement. It's another production, another staged event. So it's no different than watching an actual movie. I can't even believe that they get away with this kind of stuff. I can't. It's rare that I'm shocked and anything really I see and I go, oh, I can't believe they're doing that. It's at this point with Satanism, the after school Satan program in schools, you would think it would just, everything would just be, all right. I mean, at this point, nothing surprises me, but this is unreal. We're talking about literally they're showing you the propaganda, the whole trailer, which I'll leave the regular trailer up below for you to see. And then just imagine when these, strong words are said, popping in photos of the Black Lives Matters movement, and think about how mind control works. They know how to manipulate and play with everyone. This is to rile up black people. That's what the point is. And to anger white people as well, to rile them up against each other. But people refuse to believe mind control is real. They just don't want to believe that it's real because they're so prideful and they're so dumbed down by the media. All you have to do is look up, the Birth of a Nation movie. You see articles. It's supposed to inspire but not incite war and all of this stuff. The whole movie is about war and protest. It's like The Purge, right? We talked about The Purge in this channel and how The Purge is what it's there for and martial law and the agenda that they have, by having movies like The Purge out there, the violence and the protests that they're trying to create for martial law. Now this is like Purge for the race war. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is. And they know how to play off the emotions of black people because they're bringing up slavery and all that stuff. And they're trying to say there's still, black people are still enslaved today. And it's still, white people are doing it. So why don't you go kill white people? White people, why don't you fight back against black people because they're being difficult? I mean, it's a complete joke. This is a complete psyop. And they're laughing hysterically because they can't believe that they can actually even get away with this stuff at this point and that people aren't massively waking up. This is not a grassroots movement. Movies like this aren't coincidentally coming out in the heat and the midst of a race war. Oh my goodness, it must be a coincidence. This film was written, produced, the guy who made it's apparently was supposedly he went on trial for being a rapist and got off, which shows you his elitist connections because they get off for everything. They never have to serve time or ever get convicted of anything because they're above the law. That's how they view life. We're going, the law is for us to keep us in check, but not them. So this guy makes this movie coincidentally coming out right now before the elections, right now while this race war is at its highest level, where it's peaking, right? Well, it probably hasn't peaked yet. I shouldn't say that, but it is at a high, extremely high level where every week we're seeing black people shot by white cops over and over. And then a movie comes out where they're saying blacks need to fight back against whites. And they're even showing you clips of the Black Lives Matters movement in the trailer, in the commercial, the 30-second spot. It is unbelievable. And like I said, the trailer has not hit YouTube yet. I've been looking for it all morning. I wish I had recorded it, but I did not. But I guarantee you, if you turn on the television, you will see it at some point. It'll hit YouTube at some point. It is unbelievable. I had to do a video on this because, I am in shocked that people who are black or white who are, participating in this, getting angry over this stuff that they see, who are, protesting against cops and saying, oh my goodness, white people are bad, cops are bad, and white people are saying the same about blacks. How can they not both see that they're pitting us against each other, even using propaganda films that conveniently come out at the same time and all this is going on? Because it's a gigantic psyop funded by the New World Order, and people still can't read between the lines. They still say, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Well, what are you, people who are not waking up to this stuff? How slow can your brain function to not see what's going on? Mind control is real. It is real. Your brain functions every day. Well, you're supposed to. A lot of people's brains don't function because they never even wake up from the alpha state that they're in. But you make decisions, right? Things in your day affect how you feel, right? Something had happened at work or something happened with your family where you get emotional, you get angry, you get upset. Oh, that's all how your brain is processing what's going on when you're out of an alpha state, right? No way they could ever manipulate your thoughts or your emotions through television. No way they would ever want to do that. They wouldn't want to control everyone and manipulate and lead everybody. Come on, really? Now, I know I'm not yelling at the people who listen to this channel. I'm talking about the people out there, how frustrating it is because it's so in our faces right now. It's so obvious. Yet nobody wants to see it or nobody will believe it because their pride and their brains just are not functioning at a level that it needs to function at. They're not in a conscious state of mind when they're doing anything anymore. And they're so defensive against stuff like this. Oh, come on. Why would they do that? Oh, yeah. No, they don't want martial law. They don't want full control of us. Of course not. Why would they? Of course they want that. But sadly, it's only going to get worse. Even with them doing this blatantly in front of our faces, it's just going to get worse. So this is Birth of a Nation, more New World Order propaganda coming out Friday, pushing the propaganda of race war, inciting blacks against whites and whites against blacks, exactly what the New World Order wants: divide and conquer, order out of chaos, martial law, divide all of us against each other so they can get what they want. And then it'll be too late when people start to realize what actually just occurred and what is happening, because they'll look back on it and say, how did I not notice it? Well, people like me are pointing out the signs and people still can't notice it. People need to start waking up. We need to pray that people wake up and snap out of this trance that they're in, because they have total control over the masses right now. We need to start leading souls back to our Father, back to Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life. We need to start leading people back. So we have to pray for them and hope that these things they pick up on will start waking them up. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.